There are a lot of people out here.
Yeah.
OK, cool. Hey, guys. I'm Owen. I'm Chief Word Officer at Mojang. I do some of the websites. I write some stuff for the games. And I'm currently in the process of redesigning Minecraft.net. But you might know this guy. This is Marcus, or Notch, as you might know him as. He's one of the founders of Mojang and the creator of Minecraft, which I think we all like. And we can thank him for that. So I'm going to be asking Marcus some questions. I'm not going to go into too specific technical stuff, but I thought we can just get a general kind of chat together, something informal, and let's see how it goes. Is that good with you?
That sounds awesome.
Cool. OK, so looking around, seeing MINECON now, it's incredible how the community has kind of evolved and kind of grown. Mm-hmm. But I think you were probably further away from the actual development of Minecraft than you've been before. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, ever since I kind of handed it over to Jens, I've kind of not done much at all on it. I've been looking into maybe doing some tweaks to the sound system because the guys are so busy with the other code. But other than that, I've been trying to basically learn new things and try to prototype new games.
Does it sometimes feel like your kind of kids have flown the nest, like Minecraft is kind of out of reach now and you can't go back in to touch it, or?
A little bit does, yeah. Part of that is because I haven't worked on it for a long while, and part of it is because, frankly, Minecraft is so much bigger than just me or even Mojang. It's so much like what the community does with it.
Yeah.
So it's almost turning into this platform for a game or something.
Yeah, it's become something much bigger than just a piece of software, I guess.
Yeah.
And like, I think MINECON is testament to showing how big it's actually got. Like,
oh yeah, definitely. It's very impressive to see all the people coming here and then all the interesting panels going on and stuff.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you do sometimes feel like kind of delving in and tweaking things. Like, do you think that that's something that you might do later on? Or, I mean, sometimes you guys chat, like you chat with the development team about how Minecraft's going, and you might talk technical details, but you don't really go hands-on with the code anymore.
No, I think if I do more coding for it, it's going to be because it's a technical challenge that I find interesting, not because of like game design stuff. That the guys seem to be doing a great job of that on their own.
That's awesome. Like you mentioned the mods there. I mean, so many people the community have taken on Minecraft and made it their own, I guess, in lots of ways. Do you kind of feel that? How does it feel to have something you created be kind of channeled in so many different directions? I mean, do you sometimes feel protective over the original Minecraft you made?
When I was doing the development on it, doing game design, it felt a little bit like, but am I losing control of it, like on a personal level? But on the other hand, I grew up as a PC gamer, and the modding has always been such a big part of PC games. Even since, well, actually Wolfenstein and Doom, they really take the game and make it much more than it could be. So I saw it as a positive thing for the game. But then, as a game designer, it feels a little bit intimidating. Because some of the things are cooler than something I would think up, and other things are just maybe not in the direction I would go.
Like, I've talked to quite a lot of you guys over the weekend, and like, I think it's quite funny that when I talk to some of the players, it's like, oh, I love Minecraft, but not vanilla Minecraft. Like, I don't play vanilla Minecraft. How does that feel? Is it kind of weird? I guess it is.
Well, yeah, I didn't really expect as many people to play the vanilla Minecraft as they're doing. It's way larger than the initial idea was, which is awesome, of course, but there's no way to even understand the number of people who play it.
Yeah. I think Minecraft is inspiring loads of players, different types of players, to kind of start dabbling in programming, whether they're using Redstone to create some cool creations or kind of going further into games development. Do you think it's a good example and a good way to bring people into programming?
Well, I think anything that kind of interests you is a good thing. I try not to put too much emphasis on it being good for everyone to learn programming, because there's so many other things you could do. I, of course, find it kind of cool that people do it, because I'm a programmer, and if people want to do the same stuff I do, it feels like kind of cool to have that legacy go on. I think it kind of, since when I designed Minecraft, I made it for myself, and I'm a programmer, maybe that's why some of that is shining through.
Yeah. What about the way you use Java to create Minecraft back in the day? Do you think that's a good route for people to take?
I don't really put any values in different programming languages. I think whatever makes you be able to actually finish a game is a very good thing to pick. So whatever that tool is. I think you have to sometimes, if it grows larger than you think it would, you might want to reconsider like faster languages that are harder to work in or something. But if you're just doing hobby stuff, then the most important thing is actually to be able to keep up the spirit of finishing the game. Back when I started Minecraft, Java was a much more, I would say, viable option for games. Ever since there's been like security issues and stuff with it, so they disable it in browsers. So you kind of only support like downloaded stuff in a good sense now. But I think the main benefit that Minecraft actually got out of using Java is that it was actually easy to make mods for it. If we'd written it in C++, it would be almost impossible.
Cool. When I kind of look around on Xbox or PC or any platform really, there's a lot of games which are kind of inspired by Minecraft. There are some games which are arguably kind of clones of Minecraft. Where do you draw the line between those things? Where do you think when does it become something which I guess is a direct rip-off of Minecraft?
I don't really mind direct rip-offs either. I think if you start to use the name or imply that it is Minecraft and things like that, then it's wrong because we need to be able to protect our product. But if you take the game ideas or the look and stuff like that without actually taking the exact textures, then I think that's cool. Some of them, maybe they get a little bit confident and start making into you saying that the game is better than Minecraft and trying to justify cloning it. And that's when you get into a weird area. I think just saying that, yeah, I cloned that game because it's an awesome idea and I want to make one, then yeah, go ahead and make it. That's how games and all products get better. You get inspired by someone else and do your own take on it.
That's cool. That's cool. OK. So I thought we'd talk a bit about you as a person, if that's OK.
Sure.
So at the moment, it kind of feels like you are still the kind of boss of Mojang, I think. Not for me personally working there, but I think people think of you as the face of Mojang. Do you still feel like you're the boss, like you're the king of Mojang?
The king of Mojang. I think not really in that sense. I think I more realized that I am the most visible person. And I am one of the founders, so of course I have probably the most say in the company if I ever feel really passionate about something. I try to be kind of cool and let people, if a lot of people disagree with me, I kind of go, well, OK. Obviously, I'm either wrong or I'll get to laugh in their faces later. So but, it's more that I kind of realized that I have that position because of how it started, with basically just being me.
The thing is, like, most games developers are kind of not faceless, but I mean, there's a couple of high-profile games developers you could kind of recognize, or most gamers could recognize. But you've ended up in this position where you are, I mean, I think even in popular culture outside of gaming, people recognize who you are. How has that come about?
I don't really know. It's a little bit strange, because when I started making Minecraft, I was on this game developer forum, and that's kind of how I was talking about it. And then people were interested in this, so I set up like a blog writing about it and started tweeting, and people from there started joining it, and it kind of grew from there. And I haven't really done many like public interviews, and I don't like submit articles to gaming sites or anything. So it kind of just grew organically, and I didn't really control it or want to control it. It's a strange position to be in because I'm a very introvert person. Not necessarily very introvert, but I kind of prefer to be alone sometimes. So it's a strange position to be in, but on the other hand, if I have fans because I made something they like, then I try to make sure to take the time to meet them. Like in a big convention like this, it can get a little bit overwhelming. But like if people on the street see me and say hi, then I kind of just realize, well, I made this thing they like, and I should say hi.
Do you think that whether it's the success of Minecraft or, I mean, everyone knows that you and Mojang has made a lot of money from it. Do you think that you've changed over the years as a person?
Well, probably, but I also changed before any of this as well. I kind of, if you look back 5 years, you're kind of rarely the same person as you were before, and assume the great success of Minecraft has changed me in some way. I feel like at the core I'm still kind of the same person, but I'm slowly getting more used to perhaps like talking in front of people or whatever. And I got in a little bit more careful with my opinions on the internet.
Yeah. Like, that's another interesting thing, your kind of Twitter feed.
Yeah.
Like, your Twitter feed can kind of make or break a game. It can kind of literally break websites. It regularly does.
Yeah.
Well, like, do you feel that kind of with great power comes great responsibility thing now with your Twitter feed?
I had a period where I kind of felt like that, and I was getting a little bit scared of it. But then I kind of realized that most of the people who are following, they're following because they kind of like the more personal touch on it, and not because I tried to turn it into something, I don't know, corporate or whatever. So I tried to go back to tweeting more personal stuff, because hopefully that's interesting to people. And that's what I want to tweet anyway.
Yeah, I think people are interested in your opinion on stuff, regardless of the fact that you made Minecraft. I think you've got a good perspective on the games industry, and people respect that.
Yeah, and a rule I set up is I never like tweet on request. So even if it's a good friend and they made something cool, I only tweet it if I actually like independently or something find it and really like it. I mean, there's been a few exceptions, but I always kind of feel a little bit dirty if I haven't really done it for the right reason.
Yeah. Have you regretted any tweets that you've sent?
Yes.
Have you have you deleted any?
Probably. I usually keep it up because, I don't know.
YOLO.
Yeah, YOLO. Yeah, I think I've deleted 1 or 2 tweets. Well, probably if I had like a horrible typo and I retweeted it again and I tried to delete the original. But some Twitter clients don't show the delete, so they just show both of the tweets anyway.
Like, talking about you changing, like, why don't you wear the fedora anymore?
I don't know. I wasn't really wearing a fedora before I started Minecraft, and I happened to be wearing it at the time because Jacob mostly. And then when I was asked to send pictures to places I had the fedora on, and then it kind of became this image thing, part of the thing, and it was like easier for me to use it as an identity. Like when I'm at like MINECON or something, I could be like the guy in the hat that's Notch, and I could like also personally think like I'm Marcus now without the hat. But then I don't know. During the summer, it's very warm to wear a hat, so I did it for a long time, and now I get used to not doing it. I might put it back on when it gets snowy and cold because it's kind of nice to protect your head. Well, I do have hair; it's just receding.
I think it's kind of awesome to see how many people wear fedoras at MINECON.
Yeah,
it's
really
kind
cool.
of like a sea of fedoras everywhere.
Yeah,
but it's cool. I mean, it's nice. It's nice to know you've influenced people's fashion sense as well as their gaming sensibilities.
I don't know if necessarily following the fashion sense of a game developer is the best idea.
So, I think you've discussed this previously, but it's quite interesting. Do you think of yourself as is your strength as a game designer or a programmer?
I think, if I have to be honest about it, I think I'm a stronger game designer than a programmer. Partially because I'm self-taught and I have some bad habits there. But I identify primarily as a programmer, because that's the most fun, just programming and prototyping and playing and getting things to pop up on the screen and interacting with like user input and stuff. That's what I enjoy the most.
Yeah. Recently, you've made a couple of kind of small little projects. You made Drop. You made Shambles. They're little tiny things, but were those the moments when you kind of what brought on that drive to make those games?
When I do like games program, I start with like small prototypes, and that's kind of how Minecraft started. And then I just explore this game mechanic for a while and see if it's interesting. I usually don't have the full picture until like, I don't know, a week or so into the picture, or the game, when I kind of see what I'm actually building. And sometimes something just sticks and I just complete it. Usually it's because it's a competition or something. Like if I do the Ludum Dare, like 48-hour gaming competitions, then you have a start date and an end date, and you can sit down and actually have to do it. And then I can actually complete things. But otherwise, if it's something that's actually feels like it's turning into something that could be something, then I try to finish it.
I mean, we had 10 to the Sea back in the day, and that's not being made by Mojang anymore, but the community have kind of taken it on.
Yeah.
Like, I think one of the interesting things about Mojang is that we've got the opportunity to do that. Like, imagine if Tend of the Sea was kickstarted. I mean, it would have to be completed. Do you think that we're going to continue in that vein, maybe trying different projects and then maybe not making them, or maybe making them, or do you think we're going to have more regimented things that we're going to complete at certain times?
I think that we should aim for a mix of it. I think there are some things we need to do, like we need to have the customer support and payment systems working, and those are kind of the big projects we need to do. But those are a little bit more internal. And I think when it comes to game development, I would prefer it if we did it in more the style that I'm comfortable with, to just experimenting. Because we have the opportunity to do it, like having a small team that has a game that's kind of too big of a success compared to the small team. So we could just do prototypes, hopefully, and see what sticks. And then whether or not we want to talk about it publicly depends on the team who's working on it. Because sometimes there's a little bit too much pressure when you work on it, that it doesn't feel as exploratory anymore.
Yeah, I think Mojang's unique in that sense, in the way we're kind of privileged to be able to do that kind of thing. Like, yeah, it's interesting. On that note, I mean, do you feel a kind of like the Minecraft success is obviously awesome, and there's so many people who love Minecraft, but you sometimes feel like it's a kind of burden on your shoulders when you're making new things, like you need to follow up and need to go even close to what the Minecraft has become?
Yeah, I had a period when I definitely felt like that. And I didn't necessarily know that I felt that way. I just had this, like, I kept comparing everything to Minecraft, and that's kind of how Tend to the Sea came to be, but I think it's what's too big for me at the time to do. Maybe in the future when I don't feel that burden, I might do it. But then I kind of thought about it for a while, and then I decided, no, I'm just going to do the small prototypes for now. And it feels better. And it's not really a burden, because it's like one of the biggest blessings in my life, obviously.
Of course.
That it happened. So I'm still happy about it, but it does affect me in a way.
Yeah. And I think it'd be impossible for it not to affect you, really. I mean, it's a pretty big game.
No, it's a completely crazy thing.
Cool. Okay, let's talk about some other little things. The logo. It's not up there yet, not at the moment, but what is it?
I don't know. I have no idea. It's way back in the day when me and Rolf Jansson were working on a game called Verm Online. We had a company called Mojang Specifications. I got to keep that name after we kind of split ways. And I designed the logo for it as well. And it's just basically me playing around in Adobe Illustrator for a while. It doesn't really mean anything. And in school, I actually studied graphical design or something for some reason. I'm horrible at it. And I tried to remember what I actually learned, which wasn't much. And it kind of turned into that weird abstract shape. I kind of wanted it to be something that you would kind of notice and think about. And that's kind of the primary goal of it, but it doesn't really represent anything. I had some thoughts when I did it and tried to go back to what I thought about in school, but I don't remember it now.
Like, talking about your artistic abilities and stuff, like, Minecraft is made with programmer art, so it's kind of traditionally, I guess, you'd have placeholder art when the game is being developed, and then an artist would come in and kind of gloss over stuff and make it look better. Do you think that that could become a kind of trend amongst indies? Or I guess it is becoming a trend, isn't it? Do you think Minecraft?
It already was a trend amongst indies before I even did it. I mean, partially because of retro nostalgia, and also partially because if you have really low-res textures, then you can kind of, in a sense, almost brute force it. You just keep pushing pixels randomly until it starts to look kind of what you want it to look like. So that kind of works, and the combination of it having a distinct kind of like almost indie feel to it, when it's more like a retro feel, I think helps a lot of games as well.
Yeah.
I think it's recently it's been kind of moving away from that, where people do more stylized graphic and stuff, which I think is really cool.
Cool. Okay. I've kind of lost my train of thought. So, 1 second. Talking about the indie community in general, so do you still feel like you are, do you still associate yourself with the guys making these indie games, like maybe two-man teams, kind of making something new and fresh and hoping that it takes off?
Associate myself how?
Do you still kind of think of yourself as an indie guy, you know, you could just chat about the indie development scene with other indie people.
No, I never really was in that situation, because when I started Minecraft, I was working another job, and I just started this as a side thing to see if I could make something. So I quit that game development job and worked as a web developer, and kind of Minecraft just took off immediately. So I never, like, a lot of indies try to make something like profound that they spend a lot of time on, and they actually have to like struggle for a while because it's hard work. And I never really had to do that. And because it was kind of the first independent thing I did, I never really was in that. But it was definitely made in an indie sense, but it was kind of too fast for me to ever have felt really part of the indie community. I was actually in an indie community, but on a forum. When Minecraft started, I was trying to get into it, but it kind of grew a little bit too fast. But I definitely have like a lot of love for indie game developers, because that's where I see a lot of the coolest games coming. Like it's, I mean, we wouldn't never get a game like Super Hexagon out of EA.
Yeah. So that's because they're these small teams who can kind of fulfill their dream of what their vision of a game?
Both that, and because the audience sees it from a different context. If you get a game from a big publisher, you kind of expect it to be something different. Whereas, on the other hand, because the indie scene has grown so much and you kind of know what that is, you look at it with different eyes, and you can actually explore new game ideas and concepts and even styles, which is really cool.
You quite often kind of kickstart games, and you're quite involved in we touched on it earlier, but in that kind of scene, do you feel like Kickstarter is just as viable a way to make games now as it was when it kind of first came out a couple of years ago?
I don't know. I mean, it's viable for the people who have a great idea and have strong personalities, but I think if you have those two already, then it's probably viable to go other routes as well. So I don't necessarily see it as it being some big revolution. I just think it's another channel that they could use if you have something good and you have a strong personality. And
cool.
it seems to work. I mean, hopefully there won't be too many big failures, because then people will get scared of Kickstarter. But it seems to work so far.
I guess now is the time where some Kickstarter projects are kind of catching up with themselves, and we are kind of seeing some little failures. But obviously, it's a cool thing. It's very nice. Do you still kind of go on the net and kind of read comments threads about yourself and stuff like that?
I learned very early not to do that. It's even if there's best case 999 positive comments and 1 negative comment, it seems like the web designers make that one like 10 times larger somehow. I don't know how they do that. It is horrible. So I've got a little bit thicker skin, and I try not to read too many comments like that. Certain places you should definitely avoid. YouTube. I don't know how they sort their comments on YouTube, but they're never nice. Yeah, so I try to avoid that. One thing I've never done is I don't go back and like read interviews I've done or anything like that, because I don't want to second guess myself when I'm talking. And if I go back and read, I will go, I should have said that, and I should have said that.
Yeah. I mean, how do you think you are perceived then? You mentioned you get some kind of negative comments. What do you think is the...
I don't know. I don't know. It seems like a lot of the people who give the negative comments are obviously wrong, because I'm awesome. Wow, thank you. But it's also, I'm a gamer, and we are very opinionated, often, for no reason. Like, you don't get people who like music get into big arguments about what the best band is. You will just go, oh, you like them? Well, I kind of prefer this. Whereas gamers get very emotional, and I do too. I don't know why. I've tried to think about it, but...
Maybe it's because you spend so much time playing these things.
Maybe.
It kind of gets like ingrained into you.
Yeah. So that's strange, but I kind of understand where they're coming from. Because I've been in that situation. I've written horrible comments before. I don't anymore because I know how it feels like now. But it's, yeah, I can understand it.
Minecraft is kind of penetrated popular culture, and as well as just games. Like, we've got games, for example, it's in Borderlands. It was recently featured, like, minor spoiler, in the Stanley Parable.
Yeah,
which we both love. There was a South Park episode the other day.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the South Park episode? Cool. I mean, how do these things come about? Like,
well, I sometimes get an email from someone asking if they can like reference it, and the only distinction is like if they're actually like if they're putting something in the game that they're gonna sell, then we say no. But if it's like a reference or something like that, then we pretty much always say yes. I don't think we said no to any one of those. So it's people who just want references for every reasons. Sometimes it's for artistic reasons, like in Stanley Parable, and sometimes it's because they're just awesome guys, like in South Park.
Cool. Like, do you like the idea of becoming more of a kind of celebrity and doing some kind of personal things like that, like appearing on things or talking about games in a more mainstream way?
I don't know. I kind of already am a little bit famous, and I kind of got put in that position by accident. I didn't mean to, and then kind of looked up and went, oh, what happened? Did I do that? So I don't know. It's at first I absolutely didn't want it at all, but now I think maybe there's more opportunity for me to share my very weird liberal opinions with the world if I do that. So maybe.
Cool. Minecraft is kind of coming out on multiple consoles now. Is kind of spreading across all these different kind of ways to play it. Like, did you ever imagine Minecraft moving from PC onto phones, onto consoles?
No, not at all. It was just going to be like a 6-month project that I was going to work on initially. And then it grew and still growing, and now it's growing even beyond just the code and the game. It's like this community growing around it. So all of those things are just unforeseen things that just happen that are awesome. And I think it's pretty cool to see. It's weird to play your own game on a platform that you didn't even write any code for.
Yeah. Does that feel weird then, kind of picking up the controller on the Xbox version?
The first time it was extremely surreal. It almost felt like a dream. Because I wrote all the code for PC version, and kind of as a programmer, you kind of when you play your own thing, you can almost like sense the code there because you remember how everything is written, or hopefully. But on the Xbox version, I didn't know how it was written, so it was like almost like, I don't know. I guess if you're an artist and you drew something and someone makes a replica of it, that might feel similar, but it was very cool. Because it's very similar, but there are differences. And then I kind of noticed those differences. It's almost jarring in a sense. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
So let's talk about, so what games have you been playing recently that you've really enjoyed? I think it's interesting to get a perspective.
Yeah, I think the one I played the most recently was the Stanley Parable. Awesome. Yeah, unfortunately, I had played the mod back in the day, so I already kind of knew the plot of it. But it was very cool to see the new full version of it, and it looks better, obviously, and it has some additional content to it. And then he had asked permission to use Minecraft in it, and because I'm a programmer, I forgot that I said yes. So I had no idea when I was playing the game that it was going to have a fairly big Minecraft segment in it. And that was just weird, because the entire game is it's messing with your head a little bit. And to have something very personalized like that messing with your head was strange. So that was very, very cool. And then, of course, I can never stop playing Team Fortress 2. I played it constantly.
You've got what is arguably the most rare item in TF2.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. They just gave me a custom hat. It's brilliant. It's a cardboard block with a fedora hat. And it's for all the classes, and it's untradeable, so I can't sell it. But it's really cool.
Oh, yes, it is extremely cool. I'm quite envious, actually.
Yeah.
But what happens when you get on a TF2 map, though, when people recognize it's you?
I usually go on the same kind of Swedish servers, so the same ones that I usually go to. And a lot of people there will be used to it by now. But sometimes people will go like, no, you're not the real Notch, and they get into the argument. Someone says, nobody has the hat. And someone says, no, but you can fake them. And then they get into a big technical argument of why you can't. And I get a lot of spies after me. A lot of spies. And also, I get a lot of healers, too. So.
I guess people want to push that F5 save.
Oh yeah.
Save the notch.
Yes.
Notch killer.
Yeah. I usually when I play after I played, I could go on Twitter and look like on the feed thing. It would be like a screenshot or two sometimes.
Yeah. Back in the day, when you got killed in Minecraft, you dropped a golden apple. That's correct, isn't it?
Yeah. I think I still drop a golden apple unless they demoted it to an apple.
Yeah. Why did you do that?
I don't know. It was a bad idea because I got killed constantly after I did it. I don't know. It felt like I wanted to do something for my own avatar, but I didn't want something to be like super braggy. I just wanted to be a little bit quirky and weird. So I did that for some reason. And it was also partially the golden apple was... no, I got it mixed up. I was going to lie about the history of Minecraft because I got my memories mixed up. Okay. Never mind. Talk amongst yourselves.
What other games have you been playing?
I don't know. I haven't been playing many these last couple of weeks because MINECON and nervousness.
You played Fire Emblem on DS. You like that?
Fire Emblem on DS, yes, I loved it. But I played in hardcore mode, so if a character dies, they're dead permanently. So I kind of kept reloading before that game, and I started just grinding to get the levels up. So I never actually beat the game, but it was a lot of fun. I was a big fan of Advance Wars. I played that a lot. So to have something fantasy and Advance Wars, it's kind of cool.
Did you get into the whole cookie clicker phenomenon?
A little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So many cookie clicker fans out there.
How can you not be?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I think it actually maybe should be illegal. I think it's ruining families. I started playing it, and then like a dark mist descended, and I woke up with so many cookies per second. It was immense. There's cookies everywhere. Do you have a cookie? Can I click a cookie?
Well, you can click many cookies in that game.
Can I click cookies?
When was the last time you played Minecraft?
Probably. There was a charity event with. I forgot to actually did it because now you ask me. And there was a bunch of people they were raising charity money for Child's Play. So I was in the chat for a while, and then they said if you donate, you can join the thing. So I donated, and I joined it, and then there was like I don't know 100 people running in circles, just whacking in the air, trying to kill each other, and it was incredibly fun.
You spend loads of time watching speedruns of games as well, don't you?
Yes, I do.
What's the appeal of watching a speedrun of a game?
Well, it started with me figuring out that watching like Let's Plays and stuff like that was a good way to fall asleep, because I'd watch like a Let's Play of a game I knew, like someone playing through Half-Life or something, and I would fall asleep. And then they kind of turned into speedruns, and then I realized that they're actually kind of exciting, because there's like communities around it, and people care about it, and someone found a new route on a game, and the word spreads, and other people start using that route, and you can watch it in real time as they try to break the world record. And there's people playing for several hours, and then they make a mistake, and they reset. So, yeah. It's kind of exciting, actually.
Yeah, I agree. It is fun to do. I haven't watched them. I mean, you watched them for hours.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time.
I think Mario 64 was one which you got quite ingrained in.
I watched it for a while, and then I don't know why I stopped watching that. I think the people who did that streaming was on a kind of awkward time zone for me. So then it turned into like GTA speedruns. And I'll tell you, GTA 3 speedruns are incredible. I mean, seriously, it's better than Twilight.
Do you watch a lot of movies these days?
Sometimes. I think so. What movie did I watch recently? Oh, yeah, that's a violent one. No, it was the Evil Dead remake. Don't watch it, kids. Do not watch it.
No. Oh, cool. Well, I think we've got a couple of minutes. I don't know if it's worth getting one or two questions from the audience in. We can have a go. Yeah,
that's a small amount of questions we could try.
Yeah. OK, let's get a couple of questions from the audience. If you've got a question for Marcus, walk slowly to the microphone. OK, we're probably not going to get through that many even, so let's go. OK.
OK.
What do you think of Herobrine?
Wow. What do you think of Herobrine?
I believe he's a magical creature like a unicorn.
Pretty much, yes.
Oh, wow.
Is there any
I only
specific
just
mod
realized there's
you
two
would consider
cubes.
adding to Minecraft?
Sorry?
Is there any specific mod you would consider adding to Minecraft?
I personally never played that many mods, mostly because of the feeling like it was changing the thing I did, so I haven't played a lot of them. We have added a few mods. We kind of contacted the mod creator and integrated it to the game, like the fancy shading we have and a few other things.
Oh yeah, would you consider signing this, please?
We're not
I
going to do
can't right
signatures
now.
right now.
Oh.
Sorry. Sorry, dude. It'll just be a sign-in thing otherwise. Okay.
How did you come up with the name Mojang, and what does it mean?
It's a Swedish word. If you spell it the same way, but you have like 2 dots over the A, it's Mojang, which means gadget or gizmo or something like that. So it's a Swedish word without the dots.
How did you come up with Notch?
I basically just picked it. Back when I was a kid, everyone using computers kind of had their old cool nicknames, and I didn't know where they got them from. I just assumed people just made them up themselves. I think that's correct. So I just wrote down a bunch of different ones and just picked Notch.
Thanks.
How much money do you have?
I would say I'm being humble, but I actually don't know, because it's far more than I need, and there are some banking people who are taking care of it. But it is quite a lot for a computer programmer.
How did you invent the creeper?
Okay, so the creeper. So all the mobs in Minecraft are written in code, because I don't know how to use 3D tools at all. So I just thought it was easier to just write it in code. And I was going to add a pig, but I accidentally, instead of making it long, I changed the wrong variable, so it became tall, and the feet were really close to each other. And I thought it looked really creepy, and that's actually where the name is from. And I just went, I have to keep this. This is so like identifiable and cool.
Thank you.
Did you buy a car yet?
Sorry?
Did you buy a car yet?
I don't have a driver's license. Yeah, I live in Stockholm, and we have like subways everywhere, and it never really happened when I was younger. I tried getting a driver's license now, but like putting me behind the wheel of a big metal thing that like destroys things, I don't really feel that that's my place.
Have you ever considered getting a Segway?
A Segway?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I tried. One of the guys at Mojang Vu has one. He's driving around here. And I tried it, and I actually tried one earlier a few years ago, but they're amazing.
Yeah.
They're a little bit nerdy.
I think you feel like a king on one of those.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
I'm the king of
That's
the nerds.
Hey,
Would you like to join my dad's Minecraft server, MineForgeCraft? I've got business cards here if you would like to join.
Join his Minecraft what?
Minecraft, MineForgeCraft.com.
Oh,
He has
MineForgeCraft.
a server. He's had it up for like, a few years, I think now, and he's got really good staff. And I was wondering if you would like to maybe join it.
I'm having a hard time hearing what to say, but if it's a clan, I'd love to be invited.
The Minecraft server, my dad does Minecraft server. Yeah, would you
maybe we
such a
can
hard time.
take the
Would you
card
like-
and
would you
check it
like
out
one?
later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can take the card and look at it.
Sweet.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, a few more questions. Oh, actually,
Oh, it does say zero.
This is.
Should we
looks like it's
finish
gonna
these two?
explode. Yeah, two more.
Whatever
So,
it is. Yeah.
Do you still have that big golden name above your head in Minecraft?
Unless, like, Jeb or Dinnerbone took it away, yeah. I don't know, they might take it away. They're very strict with the code these days.
Thank you.
okay, last question.
I'm not sure if I'm saying this right, but why did you shelve the game 0x10C? If I'm saying it right.
Well, when I started the game, I thought I had all these great vision ideas of what it could be, and I started developing it. And that's not really how I developed games before. It's more been, it's growing, and then after a while I figured out what it was. And once I actually got to the point where it's grown to the point where it had some kind of gameplay, I didn't really enjoy the gameplay. So I figured I could either just keep working on this because I told people I would, or I could just kind of cancel it. And that decision took a long time. I just kind of put it on ice and then started working on other things. And after a while I went, I'm probably not going to finish this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. OK, thanks, guys. That's the end of our interview. Well done.